Good afternoon, and thank you for clicking on my channel once again. I am Roman, and today is gonna be a different kind of a video. Why and how do you say? What is it you're talking about? Well, okay, so let me explain. Um, so today is not gonna be about a TV show or a movie. Gasp. So I said early when I started my channel that we are going to do some things a little different. And today is one of those days, and we are going to be reviewing Jeanette McCurdy's new novel, which came out today, by the way. Um, actually, yesterday. Yesterday. The 20th? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I was reading it yesterday and fell asleep because I started late. It's not a long book, but yes. Anyway, uh, 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 I said that I wanted to read it because I enjoyed her first novel, which was about herself. This time, this is an actual um, fictional character. Um, let's see. Just going over like an overview so you can kind of get the gist. Because if you do plan on reading it, you're going to be like, who the fuck is Waldo? Because that's what I was doing. And of course, I had to Google it because I was thinking, in a sense, this was going to be a memoir, you know? Because I don't remember her saying that this was going to be a novel. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, I did enjoy it. Not as much as I'm glad my mom died, but I still enjoyed it. Boy, does she use some like provocative language, and you can get some visions out of this. And yeah. But anyway, so it states Jeanette McCurdy's Waldo, which is a character, refers to the central character in her debut novel, Half His Age. Waldo is a complex 17-year-old girl in Alaska who navigates a problematic sexual relationship with her older English teacher. It doesn't say how old the teacher was, but it says half her age or half my age, you know? So I don't know. That could be 50. Don't know. I do not know. Anyway, exploring themes of loneliness, self worth, and the transition from girlhood. Following the success of McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. So, a little bit about the novel. Character Waldo is portrayed as a flawed but sympathetic teenager dealing with poverty and emotional neglect, finding an unhealthy sense of validation in her crush on her teacher. Themes: the book uh, delves into uncomfortable truths, examining how people seek love, identity, and in unhealthy places explores the yearning for connection. And if you do plan on listening to it, it is voiced by Jeanette McCurdy herself. Um, I do, in a way, well, not really in a way, I do hope and wish that she does come back to acting. I think she's a brilliant actress. Um, I I don't know. I don't have much more to add to that, but yeah. So, um, let's see if I can get other character names. So when I am talking about this, age. Let's see. Okay, got it. Um, so again, I'm going to give you a little more because I mentioned Waldo, which was basically her character because she says she's putting a little bit of herself into it, but it is a fictional book, fictional character. Um, Plot: a teenage girl named Waldo becomes obsessed I'm sorry, with and enters a sexual relationship with her teacher, Mr. Corgi, exploring her yearning to be seen and loved. Um, Again, we have themes such as it examines female rage, power dynamics, loneliness, consumerisms, through Waldo's online shopping and the lasting impact of a chaotic mother daughter relationship. Um, Context: it was her first fictional book after her memoir, and it's intentionally provocative and uncomfortable. Yes, definitely. Once you do tend to read, maybe slash listen, both, whatever. Um, you will definitely um get some provocativeness, maybe even feel uncomfortable at times when reading. Um, Again, I did enjoy it. I just didn't know what to expect because I thought it was like another memoir because I do remember like in her memoir that she discussed her having a relationship with an older guy, but it didn't go very far. Like it didn't, it didn't last long. So I was thinking it was that, and maybe that's like where she was diving into, and maybe mesh the two together, and that's where said story came along. I don't know, but nonetheless, again, I did find it very provocative. Um, she definitely uses cock and dick and cum. I mean, you name it, it's in there. Um, by the way, I don't know if anybody else. I know people don't like certain words to be used, but I hate the word cock. I do. I hate it. Just like it's nothing worse than like if you're trying to be provocative, and I don't know, like whether you're watching porn or you're reading like a um I don't I never read like books like Danielle Steele, so I couldn't imagine her being provocative. I don't know. But anyway, like you're reading or again you're watching porn and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, yes. Give me your big fat cock." It just sounds so stupid. Like it's not the worst where like you're like up here, like you're getting up here, like boing, and then you're like, wow. As soon as you hear that word, at least that's for me. I can't speak for anybody else. Um, yes, I hate that word. I do, and I know like for females they hate the c word as well, but not cock. Um, let's see. So yes, apparently it's based the characters based in Alaska. Her and her mother live like a one bedroom. No, I'm sorry. It has to be two bedroom because I mean, unless I read that wrong, I do believe it has to be two bedroom. A two bedroom, one bath, um, either trailer or an apartment. Um, she is 18 years old. It says 17-year-old, and like when it presents itself, but she keeps saying in the book she's 18 years old. So unless she turned 18 years old at a certain point, um, she's the parent. She's been a very sexually active female. From having like relationships with guys her own age, throughout school. Then all of a sudden she starts going. I don't know if it's college because it's just like apparently it's just this one class. So she's going to this class like it's a writing class, and that then therefore she meets Mr. Corgi, which again is her teacher. Um, he starts out being like honest with them, and he's telling us like, if you want to know why I'm being honest with you, because I want you to be honest with me. Like when presenting your work, I want let's just be raw with each other, okay? And she's like saying like, oh my god, uh, like I was just starting to feel wet as soon as he started talking, and I just like as soon as I left the class, I just had to go to the restroom and start fingering myself. I'm like, oh my god. Like what? um she's definitely very much into her teacher. Her teacher is married, by the way. They do have a child, but she apparently that doesn't bother her. She is just totally into this teacher. Um, I wish there were visuals to go along, like with a book. That way, we could be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Like it's like when watching a movie. I don't know if anybody remembers Notes on a Scandal, but this was kind of a. I mean, obviously, I know she didn't want to get involved with the student, but it's just like the student was kind of more like pressuring her and um just really getting like into her and then she started getting into him. The teacher was like definitely way older than him, and it it really broke up um the marriage. And of course she had, I think it was either two or three kids. And yeah, it was a lot. And I mean, she lost her job, and it it's a crazy thing. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine because me myself, I am not into anybody younger than myself, so that would definitely never happen. So I couldn't imagine being into someone one younger than yourself. I could see being into someone older, uh, but I think there's a limit. You know what I'm saying? And but again, you know what? I'm just speaking in my own personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like I I'm just speaking my own truth. I'm sure we've all been in relationships or um what do they call it? Not relationships, but some type of ship where like it's not a relationship, but it's more than a friendship, and you don't know exactly what to call it, right? So you're just like maybe hoping it evolves into something more, but then maybe one or both of you are scared to go to that next level. It's like you don't want to complicate things, right? So, you're just enjoying the time that you have. It's more sexual than anything. And yeah, it's just what it is. I've definitely been in a few situation. I think that's what it is. Situationships. Yeah. That it's like okay, can't believe I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave some stuff out, but it's not that the guy was older, but I definitely not intentional, but broke up a happy home. I know, I know, right? Um, but the guy, he's the one who hit on me, so I can't really be at fault. And I'm just like, because I thought it was just gonna be like a little, like a fling. You know what I'm saying? Like a, all right. Because he told me that the boyfriend was out of town. He wasn't here in Houston. Okay. So I'm like, cool. Um, I mean, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it, right? If you don't give a shit, I don't give a shit. So we were like literally friends with benefits, and it was like maybe two, sometimes three times a week. And like I was really into this guy, and apparently he was into me. Um, but I think it just was that. It was just friends with benefits. And then till one day the boyfriend called me and said some things not non appropriate for this channel. Even though I've said some things, but I don't want that to be said on here. And I'm just like, dude, like you need to talk to your own fucking boyfriend, right? Like, cause he's the one who was on me and me. Okay. So either you're not doing something right, or I don't know. Anyway, so that ended. I have more stories to tell, but we're just going to leave it at that. Anyway, back to the book. Um, so Waldo, which I think that is the dumbest fucking name for a character in a book, especially for a female. Um, again, is really attracted to the teacher. Excuse me. The teacher, for some reason, I don't know it never just said the reason, but invited her over for dinner, which I think is weird. Why would you? I don't know. Why? I'm just. Why would you have your just like one student over for dinner, like your wife is there and all that, and once they had some alone time, Waldo said to the teacher that, "Hey, I know this is probably inappropriate, but I really need to let the truth out. I'm really into you. I don't know how you feel about me. I know you got a wife, but I just can't hide how I feel about you. And you obviously have to feel some type of way about me, or you wouldn't have had me over." Which true. That's gotta be true, right? He's like, no, no, no. I don't feel anything like that towards you. Like you're just my you're my student. I couldn't even do anything like that with you, even if I wanted to. Like, I would get in serious trouble. Who knows what would happen with you, even though you are of age. But, we can't even be thinking about stuff like that. It's just like, come on, you can be honest with me. And then the wife comes back downstairs and she's like, oh, what are we talking about? I'm like, oh, just talking about class and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. And then later on, he must have flipped a switch or something, and now he's totally into her, and they start doing things on the side. Um, whether it's going to his place when the wife is gone, going back to her place when her mom is gone. Um, I mean, again, it's very graphic in the book, talking about, yeah, um, jam your cock inside me. Yeah. Oh, keep going harder and harder. Oh, yes. And I'm just like, oh my God, just like, it's, and about like she's sucking his dick and swallowing his cum. I think a drop fell on the floor to a point to where there was a moment where, and I think this was going to be the last moment when she was going to call quits. She was on her period, and he says, "I don't care. I want to fuck you when you're bloody." I'm like, what? Just in the insanity of all of that. I'm just like, whoa, whoa. Um, I don't know a lot of guys that would do that, but you know what? Hey, I guess if you're really fucking horny, I guess you'll do it. Um, the wife comes home and starts, like yelling out his name. He's gonna pretend like he don't hear her. She's rushing into the closet. She's like I said, she's on her period. Blood starts dripping onto the carpet. Um, and the wife is like, "Oh, I've been yelling your name. You didn't hear me." Like, "Oh no, I had my earbuds in. I'm so sorry." She's like, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't doing like I wasn't watching porn or anything." It's just like, "Oh, well, turn it back on." She starts like undressing herself. It's like, "We can watch together." Like, oh. And then I guess he's just not into it because he's fucking the other girl, right? And so the wife gets a little irritated, and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go take a shower," you know. And then that leaves um, Waldo, fucking dumbass name, time to exit, and she's telling Mr. Corgi that, hey, I think we need to call it quits because this was almost like a whoopsie doodle, and we can't have that. He's like, I know, like I'm gonna tell her soon that um we need to get a divorce, and that way you and I can be together. And she's like, yeah, right. You are not gonna leave your wife and your child for an 18-year-old. So she does what I feel like what anybody with common sense does, just don't answer his text, phone calls. He does leave voicemails, and it goes on for weeks. And finally, I guess something happens to where um, she agrees to meet with him. And she's like, "It's done. I've divorced her, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I really want to be with you." Um, so basically, towards the end, it's all fun and hot when it starts out. Sure, I mean, however old the guy was with an 18-year-old, I'm sure that's hot. I'm sure it's hot. But then, like, you're gonna talk for a little bit, and then you're gonna run out of stuff to talk about. Like, you guys have nothing in common. Nothing. Like what could an 18-year-old and I'm just gonna say 50-year-old have in common? There's absolutely nothing. Nothing. Um but anyway, they had a little, little not like fighting, but a little heated debate. And then came time. He's like, "Look, summer's almost over. We're gonna have to go back to school, or like I'm gonna have to go back to work, and I guess you're gonna go back to school or whatever you plan on doing. I think we should take a trip. Let's go to Hawaii." So they booked the trip. It's almost getting time for them to board the plane. They're like seat D, so they're almost like the last. And she's like, "Oh, okay, look, I gotta go use the bathroom. So I'll be right back." So she does, and her body is basically telling her not to do it. She's like, "My body's never like done me wrong, and I think I should listen to my body." And he's texting her saying, "Hey, excuse me, we're about ready to board. Are you ready? Come on, let's go." And just texting her, and she's coming out, but she's going the opposite way. And she decides to go back home and sees her mother and ask her like, "Oh, we should go camping or something." What happens when she gets home? The mother is with this guy that she said that she was done seeing, and he's going down on her. So the daughter, Waldo, has had enough of that. So she's just like, she goes on a trip by herself just to get away. She turns her phones off because she's had enough of hearing both from her mother and from Corgi. And so basically the end of the story is that she's not with anybody, and she's just taking time to reflect on herself. And I think that's a good thing to do, and especially like you're 18 years old, you do need to take time to reflect on yourself. So overall, I think the book is good. Again, it's very provocative. So if you do like a very good provocative read, go for it. Go for it. If you think it's a bit much for you, look, I'm telling you, it's it's pretty graphic. Uh, obviously, I don't suggest this for anybody under the age of 18, and I don't try to have anybody on this page, channel, whatever you want to call it, uh, under that age to be watching me, so I don't have any parents coming for me. Um, so yeah, do that with what you will. Um, but again, if you like Jeanette McCurdy, you liked her memoir, I do think you're gonna like it. So yeah, I totally say check it out. It is a good read. Um, I don't know the ratings of books because I've never done a review of a book on here. But I'm gonna give it 5 stars. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5, right? Give it 5 stars. Um, Although I did enjoy the memoir a little bit more, so I don't know if I need to drop it down to maybe 4.5 or 4.9. Because definitely that was a really good read, and I can't wait to see what they do with the series when that comes out. But other than that, that is it. That's all I got. And I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Um, I don't know where you guys are at, but here in Houston, apparently this weekend is going to be freezing, quote unquote, going to be snowing. Anyway, stay bundled up. If you don't have to get out, don't get out. Anyway, smooches, and yeah, see you next time. All right, bye.